1X Developer Podcast.
What's up, 1X family?
I like that.
This is the 1X Developer Podcast, and I'm Colin.
I'm Brendan.
We already know that, honestly, because we've been doing this for
Like
19 months.
A year and a half or something. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That is pretty crazy, actually. You know, I never... we talk about this a lot. Like, I never stick with stuff. But we've stuck with this, which is pretty tight.
It is tight. Do you remember the origin story of our podcast?
I remember asking you if you would want to do a podcast.
Yeah, that was it.
That's the origin story. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was over at my friend's. I remember I was over at my friend's house, and I got a text from Colin, and it said, "Do you want to do a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And that was it.
Yeah. That's a pretty good origin story.
Yeah.
So yeah, we thought that maybe today we would do a little bit of a retrospective. What we're gonna do the year 2025 in review. 1X Developer Wrapped.
Yeah. I looked at videos we posted in 2025.
Cool. I don't know. Do you want to start off with like some meta analysis? Just like, what do you think? What do you think about podcasting? What's it like to be a famous podcaster?
Sure. Well, I actually feel really good about our podcast. I really enjoy recording it, and I like posting it. You know, for people following along, I think they understand that we don't have a ton of views. I don't really know how to like promote a podcast or anything like that. But I like doing it. I enjoy the process of talking and then listening to my own voice.
Yeah, same. I love yapping and then forcing other people to listen to me yap.
Yeah.
And I also don't know how to market this thing. And really, it's like I don't know how to market this thing without seeming like a total douchebag. I think that's the real trick, right? So we've remedied that by just not marketing this. But yeah, I also enjoy it. I mean, it's like basically an excuse for us to get together and talk every couple weeks. And I mean, what more could a guy ask for?
Yeah. I think the path to marketing without feeling like a douchebag is probably more like interviews and kind of like cross-pollination stuff. Because I totally know what you mean by that. Like it feels weird and icky to like get on Reddit and just be like, "Hey, check out my podcast." But I think the key to avoiding that is to talk to other people that are involved in other interesting things. Maybe in 2026 we'll try to do more of that.
We should. Because also I think our like interview episodes were really cool and a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So that's another thing. I feel like I learned a lot from doing this, and I'm like kind of more motivated to dig into subjects and stuff when we have a podcast coming up and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. What we kicked this year off with episode 15, Expectations versus Reality. I don't remember this episode.
I'm going to be honest. I don't remember this one either.
Should we go one by one here, or should we just pick out the standouts?
I think let's just comment on the ones that, the standouts, the ones that we remember and have something to say about.
Okay, episode 16 was the review of Windsurf AI, which is pretty interesting actually, because I feel like we're in a totally different world already, just in a year than when that came out.
Yes. This was one of our AI episodes, and I've really been wanting to go back and do another review to kind of like see where we're at. At the time we recorded that, I didn't use any AI for coding at work. I do now. We use Claude Code at work these days. And so Claude Code feels a little bit different in that it's like a command line thing versus having your whole IDE built around it. I guess I generally prefer that. But have you gone back to Windsurf at all? Have you seen like the progress they've made?
I haven't.
Didn't
No,
somebody acquire them?
that's what I was trying to look up. I think it's like, I mean, Windsurf still exists. Windsurf Editor still exists. But yeah, I feel like there was something like this. Now it's owned by somebody else. I don't know. But really, it's. I mean, it seems like Cursor kind of ate their lunch. You know, like people. I hear way more about Cursor than about Windsurf. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. Like on Hacker News and stuff, I see way more mentions of Cursor. I'm trying to think.
But I also like you. I prefer having like either a terminal interface or even just like a web-based chat rather than like a whole editor that's dedicated to the AI tool. You know, I kind of like my editor being my editor, and like it's its own thing.
Yeah, I think I liked what I really liked. What I really like about Claude Code is kind of the modularity of it. It feels like if someday in the future I'm like, forget Sublime, I'm going to switch over to VS Code. Nothing will be different in terms of my AI functionality, and I kind of like that part of it.
Yeah.
That is interesting now that you say that, though. Like, so yeah, there was Cursor. I feel like most of the mentions of like AI IDEs and stuff like that are just like, here's a new one, and then I never hear anyone talk about it again. I don't know. I feel like there's a ton of attempts at like integrating AI with editors and stuff like that. I just don't. What's the other one? Zed, right? Am I thinking of the right one?
Zed is an editor. I don't know if is that an AI thing?
I thought it was an AI. I could be wrong. Yeah. But
Zed AI is a thing. Yeah. Yeah, it has AI stuff too.
So I think that's another one I've heard of, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I hear a lot of mentions of new things, and then I never hear about them again.
Yeah, I think we might be in that way for a while. I'll be really interested in seeing the next Stack Overflow survey results. That'd be really interesting to see which editor people are using more.
Yeah, for sure.
When do they do that? They do that like at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, I think it comes out beginning of each year.
We should do an episode on that.
Definitely.
Yeah, write that down. What do they call it? Just a Stack Overflow survey?
Developer survey, yeah.
Developer survey, yeah. All right, yes, that was Windsurf. We also had in February the Enshittification episode, which is our most popular episode.
By far.
Yeah. And that was a good one. I think that was a good episode.
I thought it was pretty good. I remember listening back to it and being pretty happy with that one. You were saying you think the thumbnail contributed.
Yeah, I think the thumbnail's pretty good.
If anyone can give us one more view, we're going to get to 500 as of this recording.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. So that at some point, I guess it was September when I stopped editing the thumbnails manually. And we do kind of have a drop off in views. Maybe I should go back to doing that. I don't know. Unification. Then, okay. Then after that, we had the quantum computing episode.
I
That was
really
what I
like
liked.
I like that one a lot too. I felt like in the prep for that one, I learned a lot. Um, I mean, quantum computing is such a like weird, deep topic. You really have to. I don't know. It's really hard to get your head around it, just like quantum anything. Um, and you know, it would have taken a long time to really, really go deep on the subject. But I felt like I learned a lot. I got a. I was really interested in it as I was reading up on it for that episode.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really enjoy the episodes where we do that, where we like pick a subject and learn it before.
Hmm.
Maybe we should just become like just an educational channel and we just make videos where we explain stuff.
Could do that. Do you think that we should like spend a lot of time and go really deep on topics?
I don't know. I feel like we could. But I also feel like people like kind of easy to digest type stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We could do both. I don't know.
Well, that's true. I feel like maybe the audio thing that we did was like a more of a deep dive kind of. So no
Mhm.
reason we can't do both.
Yeah, and the reception of that was pretty good. Like, while we're on it, like people seemed pretty interested in that.
So I actually did post that one on Reddit. Um, Once the whole series was posted, I went on Reddit and I was like, I think I posted on like our audio programming or something, and it was like, "Hey, we posted a series. Check it out." And I think got some views out of that.
That's cool. I also remember, like in the comments, people were there was at least a couple people that were like, "Hey, yeah, this is really cool. I'm learning stuff," and that feels good to be part of.
Definitely.
What else
That
do we
one.
do?
Let me say that one.
Yep.
I also learned a lot from that one. That one was very time consuming for some reason. I
Oh
maybe
yeah.
if I did it again, it wouldn't be, but I don't know. Man, that one took a ton of time.
Well, that's the only time we've done like full presentation type stuff, right? Instead of the kind of impromptu, I'm gonna explain this thing. Or not impromptu, that's not the right word, but you know, like the more casual type of like, I'm just gonna explain this. You know, that this was a bit more structured than that.
Yeah, that one sort of had a script that I was trying to stick to.
Yeah, you had slides. You made
That's
slides, dude.
I made a slideshow.
You made slides, bro. This guy's a pro. Um, okay, so I think I had a lot of fun with the greatest browser of all time episode.
Hmm.
Just doing comparisons and like I don't know, digging into all these things. It's like one of those things. I mean, I always could have done that. You know, like there's nothing to stop somebody from installing all the browsers they can think of and comparing them. But something about like having to prepare it for an episode made me like take it more seriously. And now I'm a proud Vivaldi user.
I wanted to ask about that. Yeah, so you've stuck with Vivaldi ever since then, huh?
Pretty much, yeah. Um, I will say it's not hard to stick with a browser really. It's just that like I guess I'll just like get self doubt at some point and then I like want to try a different one. But I don't know. Vivaldi's been very good. I haven't had any issues, and I feel like it's actually it's got so many like weird, quirky little features that like I feel like it might actually be hard to switch away at some point. You know, like the command palette is a big one. I hit Control E and I type in basically anything, and then it takes me there.
Hmm.
Like that's really cool. Um, and the syncing works really well. I know Firefox and other things have like you can sync between all your devices, but for some reason I don't remember them ever like working as seamlessly as Vivaldi's does. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I like Vivaldi a lot. I'm gonna be using it for the foreseeable future. I think.
Yeah, nice. You basically answered all my questions there, but yeah, I was going to ask you if you like really felt like there were if you felt like there were things in Vivaldi that you would miss if you switched to something else, or if it was just kind of like inertia keeping you there at this point. But it sounds like, yeah, there's stuff in there that you actually really like and is really useful.
For sure, yeah. I like the command palette. That's probably the biggest thing. I don't know of any other browsers that do that. Um, and then you have vertical tabs, which I think most of the major browsers have vertical tabs as an option, but I'm pretty sure there's like one that doesn't. I think I remember reading that when I did that episode.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'm all aboard on the vertical tabs thing. That's pretty much it, I think. Oh, it is really cool actually that Vivaldi has like its own built-in translate tool. I think I remember thinking that was kind of weird actually, but that's pretty cool that I can like click a button on the side and translate it wherever I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like it.
I seem to remember it had a lot of built-in things. They had like its own calendar and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
and some of that stuff's weird, but yeah, nah, it's cool.
Nice. That was a fun episode. I installed a whole bunch of browsers, but I ended up sticking with Firefox.
Yeah.
I remember exploring some kind of like niche weird ones. I did try Vivaldi,
Wait, are
but
you using Firefox right now?
I'm using Chrome right now.
Because that was one of the main things is that Riverside, specifically where we record podcasts, doesn't work with Firefox. It like won't let you in.
Oh,
So that's like why one of the requirements was it had to be Chromium based.
I'm on Chrome because I'm on my work computer.
Okay. But yeah, I think on Firefox you like can't even get into Riverside. It'd be like, let's start a supported browser. It's really annoying.
Oh, weird.
I guess okay. So
yeah, I haven't tried that.
if Riverside ever changes that, then I might reconsider other non-Chromium based browsers like Firefox.
Oh, was that your major requirement for using a Chrome-based browser?
Pretty much, yeah. Because
Oh.
I mean, I think I also mentioned just how like Chromium based browsers tend to have less of those like weird issues on some websites, but mostly it was Riverside, I think. Because I think everything else I use supports everything.
Yeah. I know for a long time I felt like Chromium-based browsers just had way better dev tools than Firefox.
Yeah,
I
that was
think
true
that's
for a long
kind of
time.
less the case these days.
I think so. Yeah, I used Firefox for a long time. Yeah.
We forgot to try Lynx, the text browser.
Oh yeah. I wasn't ready for that.
That's hardcore.
Yeah, we got a few other episodes. What else stands out? Oh, you mentioned something about dead internet theory.
Yeah, we got a little YouTube warning saying that the dead internet theory is a conspiracy theory. So
Yeah.
maybe don't take this episode too seriously.
Yeah. What do they call? It's not a warning. It's a. Why am I seeing this? Topical context is what it is. In the information panel, there's some topical context about dead internet theory. So, view at your own risk, I guess.
Yeah. I thought that was a good one too. I remember recording and liking it when I listened back. I was like, we sound smart.
Wow. That's unusual. Okay, then we had the Satoshi Nakamoto tier list. I had a lot of fun with that episode
That was good.
because that was another one where I did a bunch of research beforehand, and I learned a lot of stuff. But also that one was just a fun idea, just kind of weird off the wall.
Yeah. Yep. I loved using the tier list meme. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, is the tier list meme old now? Like, are people still doing the tier list thing?
It's certainly been around for a while. Like I feel like I remember seeing tier lists like that. For some reason, I associate it with COVID.
Yeah, yeah, I think it was
So
COVID era.
I don't know, 5, 6 years at least it's been around. Probably longer than that.
It's just fun. It's just a fun format. I kind of want to do another one.
It is fun. Yeah, there's no reason to stop. I think it's still a fun format.
What are we gonna do? Text editor tier list?
Hmm.
The thing is, you don't want to pick something that's like you couldn't do like programming language tier list because like you can't learn all the programming languages for an episode. It's kind of true for editors too.
Yeah, it's a good question. We'll have to think about that.
Oh, dude, what if we did all the different LLMs? What if we
See,
had like Claude versus ChatGPT versus?
okay, this is an interesting topic, and I don't want to get too far afield here, but like, I sometimes see this on Hacker News where people are like, "Oh yeah, this LLM is trash, and this one's good," and like,
Yeah,
I really don't know how to like compare apples to apples when people are comparing these LLMs. Like I understand if you are using ChatGPT for your daily driver and then you switch to Claude and use that for a month and you have this feeling of like, oh yeah, like I generally get better results. But there's just people who are like, ChatGPT 5 is out today and they're just like, oh, this is terrible. It's like, how
yeah,
much have you
no,
really used it?
yeah, no, I've noticed that too. Well, also, and that would make the episode really hard because a freaking new model comes out like every week.
Right.
But uh, yeah, I see like these announcements, and I'm like, I don't really notice. Like, I guess they're different. I don't know. I just kind of like I have a Claude subscription, so that's kind of what I use, and I haven't really felt compelled to change like when any of these new ones come out. I don't know. I guess it's just a space that's moving really quickly that I'm not too tuned into. Uh, so maybe that's why. Uh, maybe that's why doing an episode would be good. Actually,
Yeah.
we could learn.
Maybe people do have like a handful of prompts that they run when a new model comes out. They run through the exact same prompts and they see, what it's hallucinate, how much it's hallucinating, and stuff like that. I don't know.
It's got to be the thing. I wonder what types of prompts you do. Something I noticed just recently is I started I like exported my chess games, my online chess games, and then put them into Claude and asked him like for advice.
Hmm.
And it was very bad at this. It wasn't like wrong, but it was just like I would just say like, oh well, you lost after this move, and it's like yeah, but like what like did, did I do something wrong in my opening? Is there something in my middle game that's weak? And it's like tell me like give me advice here. And it just was not good at doing that at all.
Hmm.
I want to pull up the chat actually because I also remember like it at some point it like told me it was like you should have done this move instead, and I'm like that's even worse. And it's like oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. And I'm like what do you? Okay, like it seemed like it was very very bad at this, which was weird to me.
That is weird because I mean, chess is one of the oldest, things that we've kind of
Yeah.
like been trying to do with computer AI related stuff. Surely there's lots to train on. When you paste your games in there, are you doing like you do it in that algebraic notation, whatever that format is?
Yeah, there's actually a file format for this that the chess I think it's called like a PGM, and there's like an export PGM button uh, on Lichess. But yeah, then when I paste it, it's like it has some meta info about the game, and then it has like yeah the E4, D4, E5, whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that is weird. I mean, so there are like AI chess tools. They call them what do they call them? Like there's one called like Stockfish, a chess engine is what it's called. And chess engines are great for telling you what the optimal move would be at a specific point, but
Mhm.
that's it. It doesn't really tell you. Well, I mean, you can also see like it'll tell you like the projected who's winning, like who has a more higher probability of winning, and so that can help you identify like blunders. But I feel like it doesn't really give me a lot. I'm looking for like coaching basically, like
Yeah.
what high level strategic things am I missing in my game, right? Like what specific types of things do I need to work on? Which is it's just one of those things that like a human being can see that there doesn't seem to be like good AI tools for this.
Interesting. I know that the chess app I do is like the chess.com one or whatever. And I know that it has lessons and stuff, and it can look at your game and give you advice. I really have no idea how good it is, but
Right, yeah. I maybe I should look into that because I go back and I just look at what the chess engine says. I think that's a paid feature on chess.com.
oh really?
The like advanced like game uh, analysis stuff. I don't know if just has something like that actually. I don't know. There's probably a solution out there that I don't know about. Anyway, we interviewed Adam Korda, talked about the IT dictionary.
Yeah, grab your copy of IT Dictionary if you haven't already. That was a fun one. I like that interview.
Yeah, it was fun. Um, More AI episodes.
I counted 5 episodes on AI this year, which is kind of interesting because like I don't know, if you were to ask me how I felt about and how I used AI, I would be like, I don't know. I don't pay
Yeah,
close attention to it. I don't use it that much. And yet we did like 5 of our, 26 episodes or whatever on AI related stuff.
yeah, it's just kind of like the hot topic, I guess.
It's in the water.
There's always stuff going on there. Tech interviewing. So this is also this year is when we started doing shorts, YouTube shorts. I guess our audio listeners won't know about this, but I've been having fun making YouTube shorts. Right, they're mostly just clips from the episode, but I try to get try to find like a hot take or something to put out there as a short. And I think there's some fun ones. Tabs
Yeah.
versus Spaces versus Wolverine versus the Hulk.
How do our shorts okay, forgive my ignorance. Are shorts like the popular thing on YouTube right now?
I think so. Yeah, they're YouTube's like answer to like TikTok and Instagram Reels.
Right.
I've heard people say that YouTube Shorts is the way to grow your channel, so that's kind of why I started looking into it more. Um, and yeah, it's like a mobile first kind of short form thing. They have to be less than a minute long, and they have to have specific dimensions. Like they have to be like phone friendly dimensions. Um, but yeah, it's kind of fun. I don't know, being restricted to a small snippet and trying to like catch a small snippet out of an episode is fun.
Well, thanks for doing those. You just like you took over all the editing duties, and I have just sat back and done nothing. So, thanks for doing those.
That's another fun thing. I mean, I'm learning skills. Do this. It's fun.
What do you use to edit videos?
I use Shotcut, which is I don't know if it's cross-platform. I mean, I'm on Linux. I guess Shotcut is probably available on other stuff. And I tried a few others, but Shotcut was the one that was just the most straightforward for me. Yeah, this is cross-platform. Um, I, I used like in high school, I did some video editing and stuff, and I used Final Cut back then. But I don't know, Shotcut works for me and seems like simple.
Cool. I remember, hmm, I remember the name Shotcut from when I was running Linux. I felt like it was photos though. Is it photo editing and videos?
I'm pretty sure it's a video thing. Maybe you can do photo stuff,
Hmm. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else.
but it supports popular image formats. I don't know. It's yeah. Actually, I would be interested in like maybe talking about like the workflow because I feel like the way I do things is probably dumb. Like I download or I export the Riverside episode. And I use some of Riverside's tools for like audio equalizing and stuff.
Hmm.
And then I do the basic editing in Shotcut, which is mostly just the intro and outro snipping. Um, and then after I render that, then I use VLC to create an audio file. I didn't know this before doing the podcast, but VLC has a whole file conversion thing, and you can like convert video files to audio files, and I think the other way around too, like in VLC. It's really cool.
I didn't know
Um,
that either. Hmm.
yeah, it's VLC is like crazy. It's one of those things that like the more you learn about it, you're like, oh damn. Uh, but yeah, so that's how I create the audio file that I then upload to Buzzsprout, and then the videos I just upload to YouTube.
What's remind me again? What's Buzzsprout doing for us?
Buzzsprout is what makes it so that I can upload the audio file to just Buzzsprout, and it puts it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and everything
Ah, gotcha.
instead of like doing it uploading everywhere. And it is kind of expensive. I I remember I did a lot of research looking at like different tools, and that was kind of the one that seemed easier. I've actually been toying with this idea. I kind of want to make a Buzzsprout competitor.
Mm.
If you're listening to this on Buzzsprout, uh, don't say anything to them. I think it'd be cool if there was Buzzsprout, but it also did YouTube, right? I think it'd be really cool if I could go one place and I upload the YouTube video, and then it does like the VLC audio, like video to audio conversion for me, and then post to Spotify and everything. So it's just one place for everything.
Right.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. That I mean that doesn't seem crazy hard. Feels
Yeah,
like
the only tricky part is like YouTube's API. Uh, it's like weird. Like you have to get like a Google developer account, and then by default you can only upload like 6 videos a day. So you would have to like each user would have to like get their own developer account, I think, so that they can actually upload, right? Because if everyone's sharing your account, then your dev credentials and like 6 a day is like not enough, right?
yeah.
So they would have to like go through that process themselves and then set it up, which is kind of weird. They have
That's
to
a
add
little
their API key.
Yeah, that's a little weird, but
But
not unheard of. Yeah. You have them get the API key and
it's not
enter it
terrible,
somewhere.
yeah. Especially if you can make a good tutorial on your web app.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is one of my ideas I've been floating around as things to work on, maybe.
It seems kind of wild though that like Spotify doesn't have the same, similar kinds of limits, right? Like how does Buzzsprout uploading hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many things to Spotify every day,
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess it's just because YouTube has video, so it's a lot more data.
Mm.
I guess I don't know. But also like well, so I guess an MVP for this would probably just use Buzzsprout's API. So it just goes to Buzzsprout and just goes to YouTube instead of going to each individual thing, because that
Huh.
would be hard. Like setting up everything, right? Creating interact with everything's API. So it's
think-
not a competitor. It's actually Buzzsprout. Hit me up. We're in this together.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a big part of the value that Buzzsprout brings to the table is like, and those kinds of services like DistroKid and stuff like that, where it's like interacting with all of the and figuring out the parameters and everything for all of those individual services and all of their requirements, and just kind of like flattening that and making it easy for the user.
And that's another thing. We talked about this offline, like off air. I think a couple weeks ago. I'm actually surprised. Like, I would think that all our podcast listens are coming from like Spotify and Apple, but no. Like, it's a pretty diverse. Like, we get listens on Overcast, Pocket Casts, unknown Android apps, iVoox, Podcast Addict, Amazon Echo. Someone listened to us on their Echo, dude.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, if you're listening to this on any of those I just said, leave a thumbs up. Hit us, follow us on iVoox.
Yeah, for sure. I would genuinely be curious about anyone's like workflow if they're listening to us on those kinds of platforms.
So
Unknown
iVoox
Android
is yeah, unknown Android app. iVoox is like a Spanish thing. Like their website's all in Spanish.
What's the French one? Deezer. If we got any Deezer listeners.
Is Deezer French? I
so.
thought we do. I thought I'd seen. Oh, this is the last 5 episodes. If I go to all episodes, no, nobody's listening to us on Deezer. What the hell? We gotta penetrate the French. Oh no, it's because remember the very first episode. You remember this? The Art Thief. I said something about the French language, I think.
Oh yeah.
I made some comments about French people, and I think ever since then, probably
that is probably
I got delisted on Deezer.
Yeah, man, I don't know how to win back their trust. That's we're gonna have to do some PR tour.
It's crazy to imagine my voice coming out of an Amazon Echo.
That is pretty weird. Someone's just making dinner and they're like, "Hey Alexa, play the 1X Developer Podcast."
It's crazy.
What happens if the voice coming out of your Echo says, "Hey Alexa" or whatever? Is it smart enough to not?
I think so. I think I remember hearing once that like there's like a tone, like a tone that's not audible to humans that they play in like the commercials and stuff, and that's how they can say like "Hey Alexa" in the commercial, and that doesn't trigger it.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if dogs can hear it.
Maybe I made that up, but it sounds really good.
It does sound good.
But yeah, I definitely think it would not trigger itself. I would hope.
Surely they've thought of that. Yeah. I wanted to say we posted an episode, maybe last one or the one before, the engineering mindset, that was audio only. It was recorded like a year ago. I really liked that one. I thought that was a really good episode.
Hey, yeah, and I posted that one because I'm bad at this, but I got confused about like where we were at with our episodes and stuff. But that was actually kind of cool to post that and then kind of be reminded of like where we started at. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is how we started with just like this logo and like just audio, and I don't know. It's, we've come a long way.
I don't really remember. Why did we decide to switch to video? Is it just like it felt like kind of what podcasts are doing?
I think that was part of it. I don't really remember. I mean, the actual first video episode is one of the interviews. So I guess maybe I did that. Like I did that first interview with Matt Watson, and then I think after that I was like, why don't we just do all of them video? Because it seemed good.
Yeah, I think there was also if in the beginning we were like actually getting together and we were in the same room, and then we started doing them remote, and it was like, well, why don't we just do video at that point?
Right. And then I found Riverside, and that just makes it so easy. This is way better than what we used to do.
Yeah. I had someone tell me about the audio quality too. We've improved our audio quality.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, I guess that's our year in review.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's any others. I wanted to mention that our Notebook LM episode, like I was talking about how cool Notebook LM was. And, I still really like I still kind of really like what I said about it, which is that you're like in control of the sources and all that, rather than just getting like, sources from all over the internet. But I will say that I have not really found myself using it very much. It's like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's a super neat idea that's waiting for me to take advantage of it somehow.
Yeah. I like everything I've said about everything on this podcast because I'm always right.
No regrets?
Probably I don't really listen back to our episodes really. I feel like if I did, I'd probably be like, oh. And that's why I don't really listen back. Also, I don't like hearing myself. It does get a little better. Like, because you know how like the first time you hear your voice in a video or something, you're like, oh god, I sound like that. And then like when you do a podcast, you have that in the beginning, but then it kind of gets better a little bit. Like as I edit, it like doesn't really bother me, but still, I don't want to hear me.
I usually give the episodes a listen. Sometimes I'll kind of like play it in the background while I'm making dinner or something like that. I don't like sit down and listen to them, but I'm usually very happy with our episodes.
That's another thing. Like it just feels so vain to just be listening to yourself talk.
Yeah,
Like it just feels like having a portrait of yourself in your house.
Yeah. I just recorded myself for an hour and now I'm going to listen to it. There's something kind of strange about that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I never thought of that before.
I will say a surprising number of times, because these are kind of spaced out, we record them and then usually post them, I don't know, like 4 weeks later, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
There's a surprising number of times where I'll be like, I don't remember saying that at all. Like, I don't remember having this conversation.
Well, no, yeah, and I go through our YouTube, and I'm like, I can't tell you a single thing I said in any of these. It's like, that's why I record. One other thing I do think about, just about podcasting in general, is I think it is cool that like, I don't want to get too morbid. Someday, we all of us we have finite time on Earth, right? It is cool to think that when I'm gone, like there's some record of me, if anyone cares,
Totally.
Like I think that would be crazy to like. It would be crazy to just be able to listen to recordings of like my grandfather talking, like that would be so weird. But like in a cool way. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Did you ever listen to that DJ Shadow album, The Private Press? It was.
No, I've only listened to that one. I've only listened to Introducing.
He took a bunch of, if I'm remembering the story right, he took a bunch of samples from these like records that people back then would private press, meaning like they would record their own messages and have them pressed on a record, right? And it wasn't meant for mass production or anything like that. It was meant for just like messages to friends and family and stuff, because that was so novel and, you know, unique at the time. But I don't know, for some reason that idea has always kicked around in my head, like what a revelation that would be. What a kind of like unique thing that would be. You know, like your grandparent comes home and they're like, check it out, I'm on record, and you can listen to it anytime you want. And
That's crazy. I can't believe I've never heard of this record.
I think it was the one after Introducing, maybe.
Yeah, it's after Introducing. I think I might have listened to one of his newer records, and I wasn't really that into it. But yeah, I should check that out.
It's just an interesting concept, and it's an interesting. If I'm remembering right, he does like a bunch of samples from those private pressing records that he, you know, dug up at record
Right. Well,
stores and stuff.
that's his thing, right? He takes like a bajillion different samples from different things.
Yeah. Yep.
That is cool. Well, do you want to get into whose side are you on?
Real quick, plans for 2026?
Oh, geez.
You got they could be podcast related or not podcast related. Got any new technologies you want to try? Yeah.
Well, so podcast related, I don't know. I mean, I think it would be cool to do more interviews, since you said that. I don't know if I have any goals really, anything specifically. But you know, I have projects I want to work on. I want to finish up crafting interpreters before the end of the year, and then after that, we were talking about this before we started recording. After that, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know I want to work on something. I kind of think I want to write more. I think I told you last time that I've been writing a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to. I think I want to keep doing that.
Very cool.
What about you?
I kind of feel like I fell flat on my face with my goals for 2025, and I'm a little bit hesitant to like set goals for 2026. But one of my things, I think I can't remember if I've talked about it on the podcast or not, but we've talked about it. I really wanted in 2025 to like get involved in an open source project and like contribute to it, not just like a one-off, but like on a regular basis kind of thing. And I did not accomplish that goal. And I really feel like that's a good goal and one that I would like to try again next year. So I'm going to keep that one on the goals list. As far as the podcast goes, yeah, more interviews. And I think that we both like those episodes where we like do some research and a little more prep beforehand. So maybe more of those.
Yeah, I think the goal for us has always been like just to make, like I try to make a podcast that I would want to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so well, I think we'll just keep letting that guide us.
Love it.
Also, I've been reading this book about not setting goals, so maybe I shouldn't set any goals for next year.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be a period of exploration, finding new stuff.
Okay, I just came up with this. Whose side do you want? It's a little bit less of a. It's still tech, but it's not developer. Phone cases. Are you a phone case guy or no?
My phone is in a case. Yes. I do screen protector and a sort of, I don't know if it's exactly minimal, but it's not the big old OtterBox thing, Yeah. It's not a huge shoebox looking thing. So I have a little case. I feel very uncomfortable carrying my phone around without a case. What about you?
So I've done both. I've gone back and forth. Right now, I'm no case. I'm a no case guy right now. It
Okay.
looks like I'm holding a mirror, but I, this is an iPhone with no case. And yeah, I've gone back and forth. I've done cases. I've done without. I don't remember why I took the case off this phone, but I like the way it feels in my hand more, just raw.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like screen protectors feel weird to touch. Yeah, that's just me, I guess. But um, I don't know. It's like I every now and again someone will see that I don't have a case, and they're like, "What? You don't use it, bro?" Like it just blows their mind that I'm not using a case. And I don't know. I take care of my phone. I have dropped it, but I've never like dropped it and broken it. And I kind of feel like all my phones that I've kept a case on, when whenever I like moved on to my next phone, the phone was in like perfect pristine condition, and I'm like, what's even the point of this? It doesn't even look like it was used. It's okay for your things to look used, right? Like, I
Okay.
don't know.
Um. Yeah, that's interesting. Wait, so you don't have a screen protector either?
No, dude, this is just raw foam. Because that's another thing. The glass has gotten better. Like the early iPhone, like I think the first iPhone had glass that would just break like instantly, like to any touch, right? Like
Hmm.
they've improved. Like I think most of the flagship phones now have like pretty crack resistant glass.
That's funny. I never really thought about it, but I do feel like I see less people walking around with big old cracked screens than I used to.
Yeah, it's they've gotten better.
I, you know, I kind of have this feeling in general that when companies are designing these phones, they are meant to be used without a case, right? They're meant to feel good in your hand without the case and without any additional stuff. Like you shouldn't need to buy a case and a screen protector and all this stuff, like just in order to carry your phone around. And so there's a part of me that really wants to do it. I want to like take the case off and all that. I don't know, man. I can't bring myself to do it. It makes me feel really nervous. I just now I gotta like I feel like I gotta baby it, and I obviously don't. Like you said, you can drop your phone, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's something I've noticed too. Like people who do have like the otter boxes and stuff, they just like throw their phones around, like they just don't care, like it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And that's cool. I could see how that would be nice. I have seen people make that argument of like, oh, the phone was engineered to be used. Like I want to experience it the way I don't really have all that. Like I get that argument, but like I don't know. It just I think the main thing is I just don't like any bulkiness at all, even just a small bit. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm a no case. I'm a no caser.
That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that about you. No caser. What do you think is the more common opinion there? You think most people have cases?
Oh yeah, I think most people have a case
I think so too.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like most, like I said, I've had people that like it blew their mind that I didn't have a case, and like I remember actually I lost a phone once at my old gym. And so I was telling like the person who worked there like what my phone looked like, and she was like, "What was the case like?" And I'm like, "It didn't have a case." And she's like, "No case." Like she was on. It was almost like she's like didn't even care that I lost it. Right? It's like like it was gonna break anyway, right? But I don't know. That's just no case.
I mean, there's a part of me that when I see someone with a phone with no case, I'm like, ooh, they're living dangerously. They're like just a madman.
I did just remember there was this time. my wife like cracked her screen on her phone, I think, and she was like telling me about how it happened, and she's like, "Well, I just dropped it the way I always do." I'm like, "Well, I know what you mean, but like, you get how that sounds, right? Like, maybe that's the problem."
Yeah. Yeah, throwing it down the same way I always do. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try taking my case off for little bits at a time and like.
Well, I'm scared you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna like immediately break it, and it's gonna be my fault.
Colin told me the glass was good these days. No.
Yeah. Sorry.
I won't blame you. I'll try it, and I'll take responsibility for it if it breaks. That's kind of old anyway, honestly.
Yeah. How often do you usually get a new phone?
Whenever my wife gets a new phone, I get her old phone. So I don't really do much with my phone, which maybe is, I don't know, maybe that's weird for like someone who's into technology, but I just feel like I just don't do much with my phone that is like the things that they're like adding to the phones each year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that it's faster and I like all this stuff, but like, so I'm usually running a phone that's like 3 or 4 generations behind.
No, I'm the same way in terms of like use. Like I have a friend who's like an Android guy, and he'll be like, he'll say like, "Well, like, aren't you like a power user? Don't you want all these features?" And I'm like, "No, I don't. I mean, like, I am that on my computer, but on my phone, I'm not. I don't care about side loading. I don't care about like what file types are supported. Like, on my phone, I just want it to work, and I text, I call, I video call, I play some games, I play chess, I listen to music, but I'm not really doing like anything crazy."
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I think there's an assumption among people. I've noticed that I feel like there's a separation between people who are into like consumer electronics and people who are into like computer science, maybe is the division. And, they can be the same person. The Venn diagram has some overlap, but often they're not the same people. I feel like there's a lot of programmers out there who just like don't care that much at all about new consumer tech.
Dude, I think that's a good episode topic.
Yeah.
I think that's what we should do next week.
All right. It's a deal.
Hell yeah. All right. There you have it. 2025 on the books. Looking to the future.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. It's been a journey.
Bye.
1X Developer Podcast.
Hey everybody, this is Colin. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for listening to this episode of the 1X Developer Podcast, and let you know that if you have any questions, comments, or if you just want to tell us about your day, you can reach us at X, formerly known as Twitter, at 1X Developer Podcast. We're also on YouTube at 1X Developer Podcast. You can email us if you're weird at 1xdeveloperpodcast@protonmail.com. And lastly, don't forget to follow, subscribe, all that stuff, so you don't miss any further episodes of the 1X Developer Podcast. Thanks so much. See you next time.